Hello. All right, this is part 3 of my PSHB, Postal Service Health Benefits, as we transition from the FEHB and Medicare, how it works with Medicare. So if you haven't watched the first 2, I'm not going to go into all the parts of Medicare like I did with in parts 1 and 2. Episode 1, episode 2, whichever you want to call it. So if you need to get up to date on that, you can watch those in addition to this one. I have some new information. I've been getting on webinars and question and answer sessions, and I'm sticking with this all through this year to make sure that we get a smooth transition and to inform people of what needs to be done. So, the special enrollment period, SEP, learn those initials, you'll see those, SEP, and you need to know what late enrollment period is, LEP. Special enrollment period is coming up, and I've got dates for you. Reportedly, a postcard came out in January. Now, I didn't get one. I'm already on Medicare Part B for all the retirees that are 65 and older and who are not in Medicare B. You have a special enrollment period. And supposedly postcards came out. So if anybody that's listening got that postcard, please comment down here. I'd like to know what it said. And you can tell me what the postcard said. That would be wonderful. And I'll reach out to other people to see if I can get that postcard, what it said. Basically, it's going to say you're going to be eligible to get into Medicare Part B and not accrue a late penalty. Okay, real quick, if you're 65 and older and you did not get in when you first turned 65, you have like 7 or 8 months after you turn 65 to get into Medicare Part B. And you, for whatever reason, you chose not to get in. For every 12-month period, there's a 10% penalty. So if you get in at age 69, well, that's 10% per year every 12 months. So that's a 40% penalty. Okay, 40, and that can add up. And I do know people that incurred that penalty. Now let me say this, and this goes with a question that I got on a previous video. I was told, when I started looking at this 4 and 5 years ago, I was told that if you have credible medical insurance, they will not charge you the penalty. Let me say that again. When you turn 65 and you had credible medical insurance, they would not charge you, Medicare would not charge you for being late, enrolling when you're 70, for example. And I have one example, at least one example, where that is not true. I have a friend, and she told them, and she proved to them that she had credible medical insurance, which is Federal Employees Health Benefits, Postal Retiree, and they still made her pay the late penalty. Well, it was to her it was to her benefit to go ahead and get into Medicare Part B because she had some things going on that were very expensive. And just in case you don't know, Medicare Part B is the best thing since sliced bread for senior citizens, for 65 and older. Right now, when you get Medicare Part B and your Federal Employees Health Benefit which is going to be the PSHB. We'll go into that. You pay nothing. Your Medicare Part B pays 80%. 80% of any doctors, and there's other things that it pays for too. Some other medical services it pays for, but think about it. Right now, that's $174 a month. Where in the world can you get 80% paid for your doctor's visits and surgeons or specialists? Any doctor that participates in Medicare for $174 a month. You're not going to find that, okay? So it's a great deal. And then you pay your Federal Employees Health Benefit plan together. That Federal Employees Health Benefit plan will now follow in line with your doctor and pay up to 100%. So I don't want to get too deep into that, but it's a great thing. You see the two work together, and so you're going to get 100%. So when you go to the hospital, you pay nothing. No deductible, no copay. If you don't have Medicare Part B, you know what I'm talking about. You go into the doctor's office, the first thing they want to do is, okay, you got a copay. You got a deductible. Oh, we've got you on the books. Yeah, I know the whole story. Yeah, you're paying down on this copay, on this deductible. But, well now, and Medicare has its own deductible, and your Federal Employees Health Benefit will pay the rest. They'll pay that deductible. So 0. For the rest of your life, you pay nothing for your doctors and hospitals. Now, there's also their prescriptions, and we'll get into that a little bit. And that's a Medicare Part D plan. But right now, let me stick to what I'm talking about under the Postal Service Health Benefit Plan. So those that do not have, I'm talking to the specifically retirees that are 65 and older. And I say retirees because if you're still working, you still work for the Postal Service, and you go past 65, you are not obliged to get into Medicare Part B until you retire. Once the day you retire, then you've got 8 months to get into Medicare Part B. And I'm not trying to give a lot of opinions here, but my opinion, it will be to your benefit to go ahead and get into Medicare Part B and your health insurance. As I've said in previous videos, it's my belief that our costs will go down for the health benefits. Go down dramatically. We'll see. We're almost there. Okay, and they're being very close-lipped about prices and who's going to be in the Postal Service Health Benefits, PSHB. They're being very close-lipped, so I can't give you any of that information, but it seems to me that the Postal Service is going to, they're telling insurance companies, hey, you're only on the hook for 20%. Why are your rates so high? We want those rates lowered. You're giving our employees $1,000, $800 reimbursement, annual reimbursement. We want in on that. Because if they put it at the top line, of course, ours will be reduced. So that's my opinion, but that the rates will go down for the Postal Service Health Benefits. They're not changing to make our rates go up. So there's a couple things you need to know. April 1st through September 30th, the people who do not have Medicare Part B, 65 and older, retirees who do not have Medicare Part B, you are given a special enrollment period where you can sign up for Medicare Part B. And again, my advice is do it. Absolutely, positively do it, because you don't know. And I can give you examples of people that didn't do it. And matter of fact, I'm going to, in future videos, I'm going to actually get on the phone with some of these people and let them tell you their story. That where they wish they had got in it, or they're glad they did get into it when they turned 65. I know I'm glad. I had a surgery. It's on my YouTube. I had prostate cancer. Paid $0. Paid $10 or $20 a prescription there for a while. But I currently don't have any prescriptions. But that period is April 1st through September 30th of 2024. You're supposedly, reportedly, you already got a postcard. So I am, as I have said in previous videos, open your mail, especially the first class mail. Open any mail. Keep it. Record it. Have a folder for this. This year is going to be very, very important. And March 15th, they are mailing out letters to all the people who they think are eligible to get into this special enrollment period. I won't get it again. I'm already in Part B. So, and I would like for you to keep me informed if you do get that letter. I want to see that letter. I would like to see it. I'd like to read it. Just what it says. So I can help here on this venue. Now, if you do decide to get in Medicare Part B, let's, for example, say you're 70 years old, and your things are you're starting to have some medical concerns. This is a great opportunity. Now, keep in mind, even if you sign up, I said April 1st through September 30th, you can sign up for Medicare Part B. Under this special enrollment period, your Medicare Part B doesn't kick in until January 1st, 2025. Let me say that again. Even though you sign up between April 1st and September 30th, your Medicare Part B doesn't start coming out of your check or anything until January 1st, 2025. Now, it's important to note, if you get Social Security, it'll come out of your Social Security check. If you don't get Social Security, I believe they bill you quarterly. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of people are civil service and they never participated in Social Security, or they don't have Social Security. Fine, you'll get billed 4 times a year. I believe that's the way they have it set up. Or they might set it up a different way where you can pay monthly out of it. I don't know. Mine comes out of the Social Security because I do have separate Social Security. So even though I'm civil service, I did work enough quarters to get Social Security. Just as a side note, I worked part-time. While I worked at the Postal Service, I worked part-time for Radio Shack for 17 years. And I had about 5 years credit before I started the Postal Service. So I get a little bit of Social Security. Yes, I'm impacted by the WEP. That's a whole different story. Windfall elimination provision. But I'm good because it does pay for my Medicare Part B. So, and I'll do a video on my years at Radio Shack one day. It was pretty adventurous. So I was saying about the special enrollment period. Now I'm talking, if you are a widow or widower of a postal retiree and you're getting their benefits, you should be getting this letter too. And I'm going to put down in the spaces down below this video a number you can call if you don't get this letter. If you didn't get a postcard and they're going to mail it March 15th. If you don't get a letter, sometime in March, then I'll give you a phone number you should be calling, because you are eligible to get into that too. If you are the survivor of a postal retiree and you're getting their survivor benefits and you do not have Medicare Part B and you're 65 and older, you are eligible to get that also, to get into that special enrollment period where you don't have to pay a penalty. Now, I was saying the credible service, and this answers another question. I was always told that if you have credible service, credible health benefits, you don't have to pay the late penalty. But again, that's not what happened. Okay, so, and I'm still going to be researching that, and I've got other people researching that too, because I want to know the truth about that. If I've got a fellow retiree and she's paying penalty, and she had health insurance the whole time, her whole career and into retirement. So she shouldn't, if that is true, that you don't have to pay a late bill if you had credible medical insurance, and the federal employees' health benefits are credible. So we'll see. So now I told you about spouses. Spouses, and this is also misunderstood. In the health benefits, whether it be federal employees' health benefits or Postal Service health benefits, for example, a husband can get it for his family. He can go self and one just for him and his wife, or he can get self and family if he's got children 26 and under. That, and while I'm thinking about that, it's 22 and under for FedBits, for dental and vision. Okay, that's just a side note. But 26 and below, you can cover your children for up until the time they're 26. So, if you are the spouse, you have to get, as far as Medicare goes, you cannot get a self and one and self or family. It's individual. Very important to note that. If you are a spouse, say your husband turned 65 and he got on Medicare Part B and you're 63 and you don't have it yet, once you get 65, you have to get your own Medicare Part B. Very important to note. Okay, there is no self and one. There is no joint benefits as far as Medicare is concerned. Now that's different than your health benefits. Okay. Now, TRICARE military will be notified also. As far, I'm not military, so I'm not an expert on military. I'm not trying to be an expert on military, but the military people need to. And I was just on a question and answer, and we were talking to some military people, and they didn't know that they could possibly be eligible for TRICARE. And from what I understand, if you do get TRICARE, you have to also enroll. Once you're 65, you have to enroll in Medicare Part B. That's all I said about the military. You need to look elsewhere for more about the military benefits and the VA benefits. Now, I did say something interesting there. You must have Medicare Part B. Now, this is where it differs. Big difference between the federal employees' health benefits and the Postal Service health benefits. Starting January 1st, if you are already retired before January 1st, 2025, you are not obligated to get in Medicare Part B. I'll say that again. If you retire from the Postal Service, we're talking to Postal Service retirees, you are not obligated to get into Medicare Part B once you turn 65. again, if you're talking to me, I would definitely encourage you to get Medicare Part B as soon as you turn 65. And there will be no more special enrollment periods. None are announced. There will be no more special enrollment periods. Once you turn 70, you know they're going to give it to you. Again, it's credible. We're still looking at that, but that would be nice if the credible. Then, if it was credible service, and you didn't have to get into it until you really needed it, that would be nice. But from real life, I have not experienced that. I have not seen that happen. If you know more about that, put it in the comments. I would love to hear about that, or how you did it, because that's very important for the LEP people, late enrollment period. So, if you are 65 and over, and you retire from the Postal Service prior to January 1st, 2025, you do not have to get in Medicare Part B. I think you should, but you don't have to. Now, anybody who retires after January 1st, 2025, and you still want your Postal Service health benefits, you must also enroll in Medicare Part B. Okay, did you hear me? If you retire after January 1st, 2025, that's next January 1st, 2025, and today's February 23rd, so 2024. So, if you retire after January 1st, 2025, you must get into Medicare Part B to keep your Postal Service health benefits going. Again, I highly advise you do that. If you stop Medicare Part B, then you stop your Postal Service health benefits, and then the rest of your life you will not have your Postal Service health benefits. There's no going back. That's the way I'm taught today. There's no going back. So, these are things you need to find out about right now. Okay? You need to understand this whole process. And I'm going to be fast here because I don't want to make it that long. Open season this year will be November 11th, 2024 to December 9th, 2024. This is going to be the most important open season. I know most of you just kind of ignore open season. I'm just going to keep what I have, I'm just going to keep what I had. Last year was very important, as my last two videos told you. I'm not going to go into that because it's too late for those people now. But this year, you must. Otherwise, the Postal Service is going to pick one for you. I don't know what percentage that's going to happen to, but I know it's going to happen to some. They're not going to read their mail. They're going to say, oh, I'm just going to stick with what I have. Well, you're not going to stick with what you have because there is no more federal employees health benefit plans. It's going to the Postal Service health benefit. So you need to read. And again, my videos, I'll be explaining more when I find out. We don't know what the plans are going to look like yet. And they are telling us late summer. Late summer. Okay. There will be a whole new platform on the internet for postal employees and retirees to go on. If you receive Social Security benefits at least 24 months before you retire, and you reach 65 while you are retired, you will be automatically enrolled into Medicare A and B. You may opt out of B at that time, but you will be automatically enrolled if you're collecting Social Security for more than 24 months before you retire. I'll post these down below. KeepingPosted.org is your place to go. KeepingPosted.org. I haven't even talked about the IRMA people. Those are higher wages than $103,000. Not many of the people that are watching this, but they already know that they're going to be paying more for Medicare Part B. And I also have some more numbers and phone numbers and a website, an email to go to if you did not receive, if you don't receive a letter in March and you don't have Medicare Part B and you're interested in enrolling, then I'll give you some more information. That's all I'll say about this time. Let me show you this picture. This is the most important picture. If you are probably 60 or over, you know all these names. But this is the most important picture, absolutely most important picture for anybody that's on Medicare or getting into Medicare. Let me get it here focused. Do you see that picture? Do you know anybody in that picture? Of course you do. If you're 60 and older, you definitely know. That's Lyndon Baines Johnson, President of the United States. And this is from July 30th, 1965. He is signing the Medicare Act. That's Lyndon Baines Johnson. Behind Lyndon is his wife, Lady Bird Johnson. To the right, you know the man beside him? On the right, sitting down? That's Harry S. Truman. And behind Harry S. Truman is Bess Truman, his wife. And you know the man behind her? That's the Vice President, Hubert Humphrey. This date, July 30th, 1965, is one of the most important days in history, of American history, for senior citizens. And that's the Medicare Act is being signed. Okay? And as I've said in my other two videos, that's one reason, signing that act, that I believe, I didn't go into anything about the Advantage plan today, but that's why I am so against the plan, because the Advantage plans, because they are in direct competition with the signing of the Medicare Act. That's all I'll say about that today. But anyway, have a blessed day, and if you have any questions, put them down below. I do try to answer the questions, and I'll answer them on future videos. Thank you. Have a blessed day.